Taiyuan, capital of Shanxi province, is famous for being rich in coal. But as with other cities in China, the main driver of the economy has shifted to urban development in recent years. 70-year-old Li Pingshen is an elderly farmer. His income depends mainly on planting grapes. He used to have 5.1 mu of farmland, which enabled him to earn more than 30,000 yuan a year. But now he has only 1.7 mu, just one-third of his original holdings, so his income has dropped. But Li is not an exception. His village has lost over 700 mu in farmland over the past few years, falling from 2,300 mu to only 1,600. Zhang and the villagers still plant grapes, but the quality of grapevines has been declining yearly.
If I had the land, whatever I plant, I can earn money. Without land, I don't even have food, not to mention money. And now the land is so expensive that I cannot afford it.
What Li and the other villagers are concerned about most is the future. They worry that there will be no land in the next 5 years. Li has no pension. Even though he does have insurance, it's not enough to buy half a bowl of noodles every day. Food prices are too high in the cities. As usual, Li and his friendly old Tianhe came to the vineyard to clear the weeds. The road to the city is just on the side, and Li has no idea how long he can own this land. Construction of a high-rise apartment can be seen on the vineyard. Villagers told us that land agents have been building apartments since 2011. They can get high compensation for selling their land, but they seldom have income after that. More than half of Chinese are now living in cities. The proportion is even bigger in Taiyuan, where the urbanization rate already reached 83% in 2011, the highest for any city in central China. But similar to most cities in China, rapid development has been accomplished by masses of farmers moving to urban areas, and it's affected the lives of millions of farmers who've given up their land. But many still have little idea on how to adapt to the sweeping changes. 61-year-old Liu Suoming got over 300,000 yuan in compensation. With that, he decorated his 2-story house and later paid for his son's wedding ceremony. But now he has almost nothing left. Most villagers use their compensation to buy cars and build houses. Some squander it on gambling. Almost no one uses it to start a business. Now most of them are unemployed, and only a few have found a living in the city. The university town has been under construction in Taiyuan since 2010. More than 100,000 students and staff from 10 universities will move here in the second half of 2013. To build the university town, the village of Shaonanzhuang disappeared from the map. Shaonanzhuang used to have 1,000 residents, who mostly subsisted on agriculture. Now the entire village has been torn down to be made into part of the campus. The local government is now training former residents so that they can earn a living in the city.
Some open a shop, some work as security guard or sanitation worker. It's not bad. After all, we have the university town here. There are more than 150,000 students in the town. You just need to work to earn money.
According to Fu, the local government promised to give them compensation before the construction started. While most farmers signed the agreement, some still feel uncertain about the future. 53-year-old Zhang Guicheng runs a family of 6. They used to have 14 mu of farmland and also rent a 2.3 mu vegetable greenhouse. This brought the family an annual income of over 40,000 yuan. But these lands are slated to become dormitories and classrooms. Zhang brought us to his former land. It's now covered with snow. For Zhang and his fellow villagers, they're in an awkward situation. They're still officially registered as rural residents, yet they've lost their land. And acquiring urban residency is difficult. But without it, they remain ineligible for government benefits and programs.
My hukou is still in the country, but I don't have any agricultural land anymore. I don't have urban hukou and money. I have been like this for 2 years. And still, I don't have any solution.
Zhang still hasn't made the final decision to sell their house. He has 2 daughters. The older one has married, and his son-in-law wants to open a restaurant. But now they have to suspend the plan because the government is asking Zhang to sign the agreement first. Zhang Gui, former village head of Shaonan Zhuang, says that there's a reason why farmers are hesitant to sell their houses.
It's difficult for the villagers to change their mind. There's a connection between them. And most of the farmers are undereducated. It's hard for them to get a job in the city. The government also isn't paying enough attention to give them professional training.
Zhao Jinzhong and Zhang Xinai are a couple. They have 2 children. Like Zhang Guichen and Fu Xicheng, they came from Shaonan Zhuang. In 2010, they sold all their farmland and house for 930,000 yuan and settled down in a nearby village in 2012. Here they attempted to make a living by raising geese. But because they hadn't received professional training, their business was a failure.
I have no technique, no experience in breeding. I lost more than 20,000 yuan. We don't have professional knowledge. We invested a huge amount of money, but ended up with little profit.
Their daughter studies in a local university, while their son just entered primary school. There's a significant financial burden. After their geese business failed, the couple turned to raising chickens. They sold over 2,000 chickens at the beginning of the year. It's a good start, but the couple are still anxious about the future.
I think we'll continue keeping chicken.
It's not a permanent job. I don't know what my children would do in the future. We cannot do this forever. Raising animals need professional skills. We can still work in the fields in our 70s, but it's not the case in breeding.
It doesn't matter whether we have money or not. The government has its plan to reallocate and demolish.
The problem is that central government requests that allocations goes before demolition. But when it came to local government, they turned it upside down. We farmers lost the land with nothing to do. This should be solved.
Statistics show that a total of 40 to 50 million farmers have lost their land, and the number is increasing by 3 million every year.
Farmers have lived in their homeland for generations. They form their own way of life naturally. The rapid urbanization gives a strong impact to their lifestyle. Their hometown has been left in dilemma. It's neither a country nor city. They face great challenge to change their life.
Demand for land is fueled by China's urban expansion, which is driving the biggest construction boom ever seen. Illegal land grabs force farmers off their land against their wishes without proper compensation, and it's by far the biggest cause of social instability across the country. Furthermore, the farmers who lost their residences face unprecedented challenges that they never anticipated before. Migrating to cities can provide income, but the cost of living is high, and without proper registration, they're ineligible for any social benefits.
The city should take them as permanent residents. The advantages of the city should try to cover them as well, so that they can form a sense of identity. It's vital that we accept them and care about their destiny. For them, it's a process to integrate into the society.